Hello, this is Angie, and this is my 3-week post-op update. I know I said that I was going to try to update the Friday after I got home from surgery, but that didn't happen. I'll start out with numbers because everybody's always the most interested in numbers, and so am I. So yeah, when I started the pre-op liquid diet, I was at 273. The day of surgery, I was at 257. And then while I was in the hospital, I gained 4 pounds. And those 4 pounds did not want to come off after I got out of the hospital. So it took like 3 days before I lost those, which I know maybe doesn't sound like a lot, but it felt like a lot. Yeah. Those were not great times. I keep looking down, I know, because my laptop is broken, and I'm trying this on my iPad, and I think it's working okay. It's a little wobbly because I'm holding it, but, yeah, sorry. So now I'm down to 245, which I'm very excited about because that is my lowest adult weight that I've ever been at, and I was only there for like a second, so I'm pretty excited to be kind of firmly 245. My next goal weight is 221, which was, I don't know why, but I have these, like, certain, maybe everybody does, I don't know, but I have these points where I remember specific weights, and I was at 245 3 years ago. I was really sick, and I couldn't eat for like 6 months, really, and I got down to 245, and that's how I hit that. And that was from 305, so it was a good loss. I did gain back about 30 pounds of that, but whatever. And then the 221, I was actually 14, I think, when I weighed 221. All through high school, I was in the 260s, which is what I've kind of hovered around most of my adult life, actually, except for when I've shot up to that 300. That was great. Well, actually, okay, one of the things I wanted to talk about, because I don't know why it surprised me, but it did. I was genuinely surprised how much it hurt in the hospital. Morphine is your friend, but they took me off of it really fast. I was doing well. They kept telling me I was doing well, so I believed them that it was probably well, but it felt crappy for me. They had me up. There wasn't a lot of walking happening. I was really shaky right the day of surgery, but I did stand up. They had me walk kind of out of my room and then back, and then I was able to sit up in a chair for a while, and apparently that's a really good thing, so yay me! The next day I was walking pretty well. My biggest pain was, I'm only 5 feet tall, and I think my surgeon had to kind of be creative to get enough vertical space to do the surgery, so I have an incision like right under my sternum, right where your bra is, yay for that, and then the other one is in my belly button, and that's the one they took my stomach out through, and he said that they had to tear through some vascular tissue and whatever to get it out, so I had a lot of bruising around that one. None of the others really bruised at all. None of the others hurt at all, which is cool. That one, though, my incision in my belly button hurts even now. I can still, well, the incision doesn't hurt. It's the stitches he said it was in the fascia. That's the connective tissue that holds, like, your skin and your muscles and everything kind of together. It's the easiest explanation I can say. But he had to stitch that together, and he said that that's what's causing the pain, is that those stitches, and that hurt straight away. It gets better pretty much every day, but after some, like, if you exercise a little too hard, or like, I still can't wear real pants. I wore real pants to work one day and regretted it because I was in a lot of pain. I went straight to bed when I got home, went right to sleep. It wasn't great. And nobody really talks much about the pain of it, so I guess that surprised me, and I wanted to tell people that, yeah, it's not terrible, you can survive it, and it gets better every single day, but it does hurt. At least it did me. my surgeon even said going into it, he said something like, you really don't have much pain. It's mostly the fatigue. Well, I had pain and fatigue. The first 2 weeks I had pain. But the fatigue is rough. I'm very tired still, but not as bad. The first 2 weeks I was extremely tired. I started back at work last week, and I was only able to go half days most days. The day I wore my real pants, I stayed the whole day, and that's probably why it was so bad. And when you're, at least for me, when I'm tired, I go to sleep. There's no, soldiering on and powering through it. I'm asleep. And it's not little short naps, it's long, long sleeps. So, last Tuesday was my 2-week surgiversary, and the president actually came into town, and I went to go see him, and there was a lot of standing in line, there was a lot of waiting around, and I had intended to go back to work, because it was actually the morning that he spoke, and I told my boss that I had to stop home for a nap, because I was really tired, and I was going to come to work. Well, I laid down at 2, and I woke up and it was 4:30, so that day was a wash. Well, I got to see the president speak. How many times do you see a sitting president? So that was cool. Anyway, whether you like him or not, it's cool to see the president. Yeah, so that aside, hello. Eating hasn't been too bad. I am having a really hard time getting the 64 ounces of water I'm supposed to be getting. I drink all the time. It helps when it's something flavored. I don't know why it's easier for me to drink it that way. So, like Crystal Light, I can get down a nice big bottle of that in a couple of hours. A regular big bottle of water takes me all day. So, like a 14-ounce glass of water will take me 3-4 hours to get through. And I'm drinking constantly. I'm drinking all day. But, it's rough. It's a little rough. Food, I don't think I'm able to eat as much as some of the other people have been able to by this point. But I'm okay with it. It's, as long, the dietitian told me as long as, it keeps increasing, it keeps getting better, then don't worry about it. Like in the hospital, they gave us 2 tablespoons of broth, chicken broth or beef broth, and 2 tablespoons of sugar-free Jell-O, and I was never able to eat any of the Jell-O, ever. I could do all the 2 tablespoons of broth, but nothing beyond that. And now, 3 weeks out, I can eat like an ounce of meat. I usually have like salmon or fish, or tuna, which is also a fish, or like deli turkey or chicken. I'll eat like an ounce of that, maybe even an ounce and a half if I'm particularly hungry. But if I eat that, then it cuts down what else I can eat, which, of course, usually with that I'll have like some. I'm supposed to be eating pureed, but I haven't pureed anything. I've been eating just really soft stuff and chewing the crap out of it. So I've been eating like a lentil and vegetable soup, or which is really low sodium, really low calories, whatever. I haven't had any trouble with protein because I'm drinking my protein shakes, and I'm making sure, like cottage cheese, it's fat-free, the skim cottage cheese. I love cottage cheese, so it's good for me. But half a cup of that is 12 grams of protein, so I can eat easily like a quarter of a cup. And then usually on top of that, I'll put a piece of crumpled up turkey bacon, which is 2 grams of protein. So between those two things, I'm getting, 8-9 grams of protein at, breakfast or at lunch. So that's pretty good. And then a protein shake that I usually make with milk. I was using almond milk for a while, but I wasn't hitting my protein, so I switched to skim milk. And that, is usually like 40 grams, 35, not 40 grams of protein. So I'm not really having much trouble with the 60 grams of protein. But the water, I'm having a lot of trouble with. And yes, I'm including my 8 ounces of milk with with my protein shake as part of my water, because it's liquid, so whatever. Jake, here's my puppy. He's feeling very barky. Baby doll. But anyway, I've babbled almost 10 minutes, so I'm going to stop. I'm going to try to post again, maybe this weekend, maybe next week. I'm going to try to do once a week, just because, I don't know, I feel like this might keep me accountable, might make me pay more attention if I know that I'm going to be posting and maybe somebody's going to watch it, and, I don't know, see if I'm doing well or see if I'm screwing up. Good incentive, I guess. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, if you're watching, and if you're not, well, you're not watching, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, thanks, and I will see you again next week. Bye.